If you think your thoughts and opinions do not matter, or if you fear taking the next steps towards a better you, or if you allow other people to take free reign of your life, now is the time to put an end to these limiting beliefs. Welcome to Change Your View, a podcast that will help you take back control to have a well-lived life and the conviction that your life is to have meaning. Join Hasina Shahid Jackson in discussions aimed at overcoming the limitations of physical sight to see with spirit, hope, and faith. Each episode will empower you to develop the courage and self-assurance to go after the life you want. Here is your host, Hasina.
Well, hello there, Vivian. I'm so excited to have this time with you today to chat. I am excited about the story that you are going to tell our listeners. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I'm wonderful.
So we're going to dive right in because you have a journey that I want you to take our listeners on. And we're going to start. I was reading this one line in your bio that says you use drugs to live and live to use drugs. That's a powerful statement. So that is a powerful statement. So I want you to tell me, how did you get on that journey that you used drugs to live and live to use drugs? What happened? What caused that?
Well, I definitely used drugs to live, to actually survive. And I went through an entire lifespan of just total drug use. I feel like I was on a 10-year binge of just nothing but drugs. And my story is a little, we see people out there on drugs and alcohol and we think, oh, why don't they just get over it and stop using and just get past it? But a lot of us can't, or I couldn't, because I started getting high in the hospital. When I was at the age of 17, I had some major surgery and was in the hospital for 4 months. And for 4 months, they were giving me morphine. They were giving me all kind of dope drugs. And it is that time I got hooked. I developed what's called a tolerance to substance. So when I did get out of the hospital after the 4 months and I tried alcohol and drugs at the age of about 21, I had developed that tolerance. So I needed more and more. I needed more to feel the effect because I had already become addicted. So a lot of time we think people just, on drugs because they want to be on drugs, but you gotta listen and hear their background and their story. And so when I did, after my 10-year binge, when I was delivered in 1991, the Lord delivered me from the affliction of alcohol and drugs. I was able to see how other people went through this cycle.
But before you go there, I don't want you, because I want us to spend a little bit of time, just a few minutes.
Okay.
On how it was. What was your feelings and your thoughts during that period that you were in that stint on drugs? You said you were on hook what, 10 years? You said what was going through your mind?
Years. Well, I felt like a failure, first of all, because I had gone through so much money. I lost so many things, houses, cars, everything, jobs. I was with the state for 14 years, several states. I worked for the state of another state, and I lost jobs because I couldn't stop using. And so I got to a point where I wanted to die. I wanted to commit suicide. I was on a 3-day binge where I had not eaten or slept in 3 days.
Before you go to that part, let me just go back because you said something powerful though. You were losing, you couldn't maintain a job. You couldn't maintain what you had. I mean, was it just, did you feel like it was really important to you, those things, or you just felt like the drugs was just more important than maintaining, being able to survive, to move on to thriving?
Well, the drugs were more important. I had to have the drugs. And this is where we go back to, I used to live and live to use. The drugs were more important than getting up, going to work. I had to go find another hit, another joint, another drink. I worked for the government, as I said, and I would keep the government car overnight. It started overnight, then I would keep it over the weekend, and then I would keep it over the weeks, and I was in a blackout. I had to use drugs just to function. So it became to a point that when I would come to, I would be so disappointed in myself, because I came from a family that did not use drugs. I came from a family that was Southern Baptist. We all went to church as kids, and we grew up in church. And so I would look in their eyes and see disgust. And so I felt like a failure, and I felt like I needed to just put down the drugs, but I couldn't do it. The drugs have more of a control over you. So now let's go forward, because you tell me how you feel. And the drugs were prime in your life. It was no getting away from them at the time. And then you said you hit that point where you just wanted to die. You were absolutely
at that, and this was a turning point. So what happened? Walk me through that story, where the turning point came.
Well, like I said, it was a 3-day binge, and I had not eaten, slept, and I would walk miles every day, because I would walk from Chicago, from the west side of Chicago to suburbs, seeking drugs from people that I knew. I had gotten to a point, I was so hungry, I went to this chicken house, and the chicken was smelling so good. It was early in the morning, and I said to the guy, "Sir, can I have a piece of chicken?" And I know that they throw the chicken away at the end of the day. I worked for a chicken place when I was a young girl, a teenager. And so I know at the end of the day, they would throw it away. They not supposed to resell it the next day. So I knew that for him to give me one piece of chicken wouldn't have killed him, But he said to me, "No, get out of here. Go get a job. Go find a job." And I was on a main thoroughfare. I'll never forget it. And I wanted to die. I left there feeling so humiliated, because I really could have jumped across the counter about 2 or 3 times, got about 4 or 5 pieces of chicken, and eating it.
Crossed your back. You said I could jump over there and give me a piece of chicken if you want.
Come on now, I could have did that. I was a thief too, I lied, cheated, and stole. So I could have stole me a few pieces of chicken and ate it, but I was trying to do the right thing, And when I left there, I wanted to commit suicide. I saw myself running out in front of a Mack truck. I saw the chrome on the truck. It said Mack, had this big dog on it, and I was going to do it. But God kept me. Something stopped me from running out in front of that truck. And I thank God today that I did not have to do that.
So you said something stopped you. Did you hear a voice? Did you have like a presence around you? I mean, do you recall, what did you feel at that time that just says, "No, that's not the plan I have for you"? What did you?
I didn't hear anything per se. I felt the presence of something. At the time, I didn't understand it, but I felt the presence of my praying grandmother. I heard my praying grandmother. I heard, today I know it was the Lord that said, "No, stop. You're valuable. You're more valuable than that." And so I kept walking, and I made it home, got some sleep. The next time I went out, I was paralyzed with fear. I was walking in the middle of the street because I thought someone was going to kill me. So I was really all screwed up, and I was walking in the middle of the street, and I just got paralyzed, could not walk, could not move. And I just started hollering, "God help me, please. God help me." And 3 days later, I was in treatment. Now, mind you, I had gone to several other treatment programs before, but I went through these treatment programs because my family would look at me with disgust, because my job would mandate me to treatment, because people would say, you know, you look bad, you smell bad, you know, go get some help, you know. Today, I know that's not the way to get help. Me calling out to the name of the Lord, saying, God, help me, is what got me into treatment and allowed me to stay into treatment. That's what made me want to get better, want to feel better.
So the point that you're saying there sounds to me, Vivian, it's not about the other person. It's about you. You have to wake up and say, I've had enough and Amen. I'm doing this for myself. It's not that you're pressuring me to make this change. I know I need to make this change, but then God is speaking to me that it's time for me to make this change. So that's the turning point sounds like for a person, and not being influenced by outside factors.
Correct. You're so correct. I could not stay clean for them. I'd go into treatment for them, but I didn't want to be there. So it's like I would stay there long enough to appease them. And afterwards, I'd come back out and get high. But when I got tired, when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of the way I was looking and living and feeling, when I called out to the name of the Lord, when I believed that God heard me, because he heard me all the time, but he was waiting on me to ask for help. You see, he was waiting on me to say, help me, Lord. You know, I couldn't help him. I mean, he couldn't help me with them asking for help. I had to do it on my own. And when I did, he saved me. He delivered me. November 23rd, 1991, I'll never forget it. You know, I went into treatment and I never looked back. You know, awesome. He brought me out. Oh, Jesus, my Lord. He brought me out of darkness.
All right. So let's move forward now a little bit in time.
Okay.
So now you're out of treatment.
Yes.
So what is the biggest, what would you say is the milestone for you where you said, I know I'm not going to go back now? Because all the other times, like you said, you got clean before you went in, but you knew that this time it was for you. But what was that milestone for you when you knew that you had finally reached that threshold where you were not going to go backwards?
It was to keep humbling myself and asking for help. See, I had such pride. You see, I had such arrogance that I wasn't going to ask for help or anyone to help me. So I would get clean, like I said, and then, you know, after I slept and ate, I didn't want nobody to tell me what to do.
Okay.
You know, I could do this on my own. But when I got clean this last time, I was able to stay clean because I was able to listen to other people. I was able to hear other people. I was able to ask someone to show me what to do because I didn't want to go back. You know, I was able to cry out to God, you know, and continue to listen for him because I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. I kept thinking before, oh, I could do this. I could do that. I'll just slow down. I'll just try this. I'll just put my rock on this side of the pipe and I'll just, you know, smoke only a little bit of, you know, I could do this on my own. I could do this. I just won't drink. Drink beer and not drink the hard liquor. You know, I had all kind of little methods that I thought I could control it, but I couldn't control it. Mm-hmm. So I started listening to people. I did what they suggested. I went to a halfway house, even though I had my own house. And see, I thought that I could stay sober because I had my own house, you know, so I didn't need to go to a halfway house. I didn't need to go to AA, but that last time, me wanting to die, me wanting to take pills to end my life, run out in front of a Mack truck, you know, getting shot at, those things pressured me into saying, I don't want that. I know I won't live.
So to me, it sounds like your 3 key ingredients was surrendering, humility, and community.
Correct. Yeah. Asking for
help. If I sum it up, it seems like that's what you're saying. Surrender. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Humility and community.
Absolutely.
Because we are not created to be alone.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know and we have to surrender to a higher power than us. and we need to
Yes.
be humble to know that we need help. I really appreciate that you were reinforcing that that's what we need to understand about ourselves. That's part of our identity. And that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you cannot stand alone. What it means is that you are not intended to think that you have to go all alone to solve your problems. You know, I mean, you're solving your own problem, let me say that, but that you have a community to help you stay up.
Ah, my Lord, yes. And it was all about love. See, when we know as drug addicts, we know when people genuinely care about us. We know when people love us, and all we're looking for is love, and like everybody else. But we smell so bad and look so bad. Nobody want to hug us. Nobody want to share love. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm keeping it.
No. And this is about being transparent. No,
Absolutely.
I want you to be transparent and real.
Absolutely. You know, so it's like all I needed was love. I didn't need them to look at me and with disgust, you know, and feel bad to be around me, not want to introduce me to people, not want to be a part of the family or whatever. But AA accepted me. AA taught me how to get back to God, get back to Him, how to humble myself and ask for help, you know, how to humble myself and realize that I couldn't do it by myself, that by myself I will self-destruct and blow up because I did it many times. So yeah, I had friends again, quote unquote friends that were trying to do the same thing I was trying to do, you know, and I had people around me that I believe genuinely care. So many wonderful and great things have happened to me since the Lord delivered me from alcohol.
And that's why I want us to move forward now, because so now because I want someone to know that where you are doesn't mean that you have to stay there. So we have to leave. So I want, if anybody is listening today that feels that they are in a dark place and there's no getting out of that place, please listen to Vivian's story today, because you can pull yourself out with the help of the one who is greater than all of us. So let's move forward. Let's move forward to now you're out, you're going to meetings.
Yes.
And how did you, so you were just living and existing.
Right.
Now you move into you're thriving, because I want you to tell me where you are, how you got started where you are today.
Okay.
So tell me how you got to this point, and then let listeners know where you are as you progress.
Amen. I again, I started listening to other people, taking suggestions, and each day it got a little easier. I remember being at an AA meeting saying, I feel like I'm just holding on, like on a merry-go-round. And somebody said, just don't let go. And it was that simple, calm voice, being around people that had sobriety, that I was able to move forward. So yeah, one day at a time, it got a little easier. I went to AA meetings I didn't like. A lot of them I didn't like. I felt like I was there listening to their story, and their story was worse than mine, until someone told me, well, what do you think you look like? I went to the halfway house. It was 23 women, and all of us, you know, had 23 different issues every day. And I told my AA sponsor, I said, I don't want to be there with all them women. They look like cutthroats. They, you know, and she said, what do you think you look like? What do you think you smell like? So I had to be around people that were real with me, that were genuine with me, that would tell me the truth. And so, after that, the treatment part was always easy, because I could do 28 days, but I couldn't do 29 or 30. After 29 or 30.
So that was the turning point when you got past that 28 and you moved on up. So that's what I wanted to know. So after that 28th day, that's when you knew you were sailing forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Praise God. I was making a meeting every day. I started talking back to my grandmother, who wouldn't talk to me because, you know, she was my payee or whatever. She would go get my check, and I'm at the senior citizen building at 3:00 in the morning hollering, I want my money. I want my money. But anyway, She started, she started, I know it's funny.
It's not funny, but man, and I'm not
funny,
laughing. I'm not laughing at you. What I'm laughing at is I'm rejoicing in how you look back on this and feel with joy and happiness and not be here in tears. That's what I'm saying. So how you can come up, rise up out those ashes, because
hallelujah.
Rise up out those ashes and become the person, because that's the whole point of my foundation that's called Ava's Pathways, is being able to rise up.
Hallelujah.
And be that phoenix that can get you moving forward. So please continue.
Yes. And every time somebody gave me a chance, an opportunity, like I remember getting my first apartment after the halfway house. After staying there 10 months, I believe 10 months, 10 and a half months, I got an apartment. First, he wouldn't give it to me, but then they gave me a chance. And when they gave me a chance, that would give me hope, a little more hope. I was able then to buy a house that would give me hope, a little more hope. But I was still empty inside. I still felt empty. But that's because I needed that sure foundation, which I know today is God. I joined the church. I joined Victory Apostolic Church, my church home today, where my pastor is Andrew D. Singleton Jr., who believed in me, who had enough confidence in me to allow me to help start a substance abuse program at the church. Not only was I able to do that, every time they gave me a little glimpse of reality that I can do this. I can make it without drugs. I can make it without any substance. I don't have to rely on anything to feel good about myself. I started finding new things, new ways to get high. Like I ride my bike in the wind. I love that. I mean, the sun on my face. I love that. Going to museums and doing other things to get high,
So what you're saying is, another thing that you just said, because you keep dropping nuggets and you think I'm just going to let you keep going past them, is hope. Hope is the key, because as you reached a milestone, you kept going forward because you got a new glimmer. Because it's seeing not with your natural sight, but seeing with your spirit that allowed you to keep going. Well, hey, if I could do this, I could do another thing. If I could do this,
right.
And you just kept adding on. And the other thing is that people gave you a chance. And I love the fact that you said Pastor allowed you to start a substance abuse program at the church. And that is so much needed. But just think about that. All these things, because we glanced over it, but I want to stop there for a minute.
Okay.
You found purpose from your trauma.
Yes, absolutely. I know today that everything that I went through was to be the person that I am today, to be able to help someone else in their addiction. I know what it feels like to tell somebody, get out of here, go get a job, go find a job. I know the humiliation that causes a person. So I vowed never to treat someone like that again. Today, if I have money and you ask me for it, you have it. I'll give it to you because I know what it feels like to be turned down. That's up to you what you do with it. You have to answer to God for yourself, but I have to answer to God also as well. I have to answer because I have been given a chance. You see, I have been given a chance to start over. And I don't want to mess this up. I can't mess it up. I don't want to die out there like this. So every time somebody gave me chance, gave me hope. I started a substance abuse program at Victory. It was very successful. It ran for 10 years, 9 or 10 years. So we moved to the new church for half a year after that. And then but at the same time, I started my own substance abuse.
I'm about to say, so that's what I want to know. So because we going to the next fork in our journey here. So you're facilitating a substance abuse program at the church, and now you said you moved on to open your own business. So tell me about
Hallelujah.
that.
Yes,
tell me about that. An entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur, absolutely. I worked in substance abuse when I got clean, when I got sober. I took exams, I passed, became certified addictions counselor. I learned how to write grants, not just grants, but a proposal to start my own business, and have been very successful at that for 22 and a half years. 4 months will be 23 years. And it's because of that hope, because of people giving me a chance. So I have been able to help other people recover from the afflictions of alcohol and drugs, because I don't put them down. You see, I don't talk about them. I treat them with respect. I treat them professionally, with love and kind and careness, carefulness. I'm sorry. People just want to be loved. They thirst for, they yearn for love, for somebody to care about them, not just give them money, not just give me a coat. Don't give me a coat, because they can make it out there without a coat. Mm-hmm. You get enough alcohol in you, you don't need a coat. You can make it. They want love. They want someone to genuinely care about them. And so I have been able to do that. I'm a certified addictions counselor myself. I'm a licensed entrepreneur, alcohol and drug use provider. I'm licensed for adults, adolescents, DUI provider, evaluator for the state. I've worked in Cook County Jail doing alcohol and drug assessments. I've worked in, and with different community organizations, methadone maintenance, women's inpatient program, just all sorts of programs that gave me knowledge to be able to help other people. And that's what I do. I take little nitpicks from all of the programs that I have worked at and have been able to successfully run my own. I thank God. And I know it's all about God that I've been given the opportunities to do these things, not from working in a state-ran facility to owning my own state-run facility.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Vivian, because I know as you journeyed from working and getting back clean, and it wasn't easy, I'm sure, opening up your own business.
No.
So what was the struggle that you faced that that made you go, why am I doing this? I was probably, why am I going forward with this when this is so much harder than what I even anticipated?
My struggle was the education. People felt that because I only had a bachelor's degree, that I didn't qualify to run my own business. Now, I'm telling you, I'm at a level with PhDs and doctors and people that ran their facilities with, like I said, with PhDs. And so when I only had the bachelor's, they were looking at me like, who does she think she is? But my program was more successful, and I started advising them, giving them advice. But because I had the humility and had lost that pride, I didn't have that pride anymore. So I did go back to school. I got my master's in social work, and hallelujah, less than a month from now, a month ago, I received an honorary PhD in theology. So I thank God for that. And it's been ongoing success because I believe, because I am willing to give back, because I am willing to love, because I am willing to help others get to where they need to be, and not judge at all.
And so your story is just amazing. I mean, you started from living just for drugs,
right,
to then finally figured out that life was worth living because you were willing to kill yourself because you felt that you were not loved, and you had so much pride that you didn't want to ask for help. Then you became humble, and you went through the program, got in the community that allowed you to then keep going forward to increasing your education, opening up your own business. And now you are counseling others who were where you were, because you're reaching back to help someone else see that there's more to life than what's in that pipe or whatever they use, or the needle, because you want to show them that life is possible outside
Yes.
of that high or whatever they are
Absolutely.
going to receive, because it could be so
Absolutely.
much more fulfilling. Because when you're
Yes.
just doing that pipe, you are a slave to that.
Absolutely.
And
That's
why not
exactly.
be a slave to the one that created you,
Oh,
doing
Jesus, say
doing the
that.
work?
Say that.
Be a slave to the one that created you, doing the work that he
Mm,
has established for you. But you had to
yes.
go through, because there's always you had to go through that to really get to where you are today.
I like that you said that because you're right. Everything that we go through is for a reason. And there's a season in it all. I had to go through what I went through, and I'm still going through. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going through. I still fall short. I'm not perfect by any means. I fall short, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to get back up. I'm a minister today at the Victory Apostolic Church. I'm have been trusted to pray for others, to lead others, not just at church, but out here in the world. Out here, I'm able to help other people. That's what's fulfilling to me. If I can get one soul to say, yes, I need to turn my life around. Yes, I'm willing to change. Then I'm doing it, baby. I'm doing it. That's where the glory is. It's about helping another soul. It's about helping someone that reached for me. Someone that reached, and they're reaching. They're out there. We just not looking for them, and we get anything in them pipes. Those drugs, we don't know what we're getting today. People are so cruel and shrewd and mean and evil that you don't know what you're getting. Any hit could kill you at any time.
But one more thing you said, though, Vivian, that sticks with me. And, and our time here has been flying. I mean, I could sit here and talk about this. But one more thing that you said to me is that we have to open our eyes to really seeing the person that we're looking at.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we are so focused on self, but if we were to really look at that person, it might be somebody we could help.
Absolutely.
Like that man, like the chicken place. The man said, "Get on out of here. I'm not giving you a piece of chicken." But if he had really looked at you, looked not just at the physical part, but looked inside to see the person, Vivian, he would have said, "Oh, wait a minute, sister.
My Lord.
I'm gonna extend you a hand." But that was, I guess, when I think about it, that was really the turning point for you, because in some way he did help you, because you left up out of there feeling rock bottom. So he did help you in his way. Because if he had given you that piece of chicken, you would have kept going down that route. So I would take that back. In his way, he can help you. So think about it, because it was him telling you, get a job and putting you down, that made you go, oh, life is not worth living. To the point where you said, well, life is worth living. And you then said, I am going to get clean. So we all have to reach that spot. And I just commend you for the work that you're doing today. Tell us the name of your business and how long you've been in business. And just tell us a little bit about that. The name of your business, how long?
Okay. My business is Heal ASAP. The ASAP stands for Alcohol and Substance Abuse Program. Heal Alcohol and Substance Abuse Program. We're an outpatient alcohol and drug treatment program for adults and adolescents, and primarily for DUI offenders, but we are licensed to service anyone in the United States. We're licensed by the government. We're licensed by the state of Illinois. We're licensed in Indiana. American Counseling Association, National Association of Forensic Counselors. And we have a lot of positions available, part-time positions for counselors, for administrative assistants. And we're located in Flossmoor now. We were at one time with 5 locations in Linwood, Homewood, Crete. We just left the Crete location, and now in Flossmoor. So we do the outpatient, and we link and do network and referral with other facilities in the Southtown suburbs. So we do help others in other ways, as well as the clients. We help teach other people. And my pastor is good at teaching. He like leaders, and he teach others to help others.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of those that likes to move forward, teaching one to teach one, or whatever, to help one to help one. So he's great in that. I like his walk. He and his wife, Sister Brenda Singleton, I mean, just great role models. I've been married 40, they've been, I think, getting ready to celebrate 49 or 50 years of marriage coming up. And I've been with my husband 44 years, and married. We've been married, though, 38 years, and with 5 children, and adopted one child. And we just, have been able to move forward since sobriety, since my life, since I decided to walk through. And not everybody has that voice to be able to express themselves as to what they want. And I didn't know what I wanted. All I know, I wanted to stop killing myself. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to die out there in that street. And I was convinced that I was going to die like this, on drugs and stuff. I was going to die to that. And then the Lord spoke to me and said, my child, come home. You're not going to die. You're not going to die like this.
Well, that's so powerful. And just so listeners, me and Vivian go to the same church. So Pastor Singleton is my pastor too.
Yes.
He is a teacher of the word, and I do greatly appreciate him. And I will have my own personal story about him, but this is not my time to talk about my story. But I just thank you so much about your sharing, being transparent, being true. And I know that your journey will help someone else move forward in their journey in life. And they're going to put down that pipe, put down that drink, or whatever they're using to just keep them momentarily satisfied when they can be eternally satisfied, right? Eternally satisfied.
Eternally satisfied.
Yes, because momentary rewards go away. But what you're doing now is rewards that's going to be for a lifetime, and you're leaving behind an imprint on someone else's life. You're helping pull them up. So I ask you, do you have one parting thought that you want to leave with someone today that maybe might be going through? That maybe you can speak to them, that could help them maybe think about themselves, because like you said, it's not about you telling them that they have to do it, but what can you put a thought in their mind that you could leave them with?
Sure. Actually, I have 2. One, to the user that's still using, don't give up. Don't give up at all. There is help around the corner. You just have to have the courage to ask for it. You got to have the courage to ask for help. 2, for those that have stopped using, stay true to your mission. Whatever your vision is, stay true to it. Stay centered and focused on what it is you've been called to do. Sometimes we can get so caught up into watching other people's walk that we forget about what ours is, or we don't stay centered to what our mission is. Stay true to what it is God has called for you to do, and don't give up. Both of them, don't give up.
All right, so don't give up.
Don't give up.
So I thank you for your time today, Vivian. Yes. And I thank you, listeners, for tuning into another segment of Change Your View. And I pray that this segment helped change your view, and that you will not give up, as Vivian said. Do not give up, because giving up is not an option.
This concludes this episode of Change Your View. Let this conversation help you navigate life's challenges, emerging from that seemingly endless pause that you are experiencing. Regain command of your own path and resist being boxed in. Visit hsjackson.com for more inspiring and eye-opening discussions. Stop walking in the shadows of other individuals. No longer allow inferior perspectives to brainwash you. Do not be forgotten. You have the authority and power over you. Make the most of your abilities. Thank you for listening. Until next time.